Are you planning a magical trip to Orlando? Make every day at the parks easier with Beta Stroller Rental. They offer clean, comfortable, and high quality strollers so your little ones can ride in comfort while you enjoy every moment stress free. And best of all, listeners of the Mickey and Minutes podcast get an exclusive 10% off discount on their rental. Simply use our coupon code MIM10, that's MIM 10, when making your reservation. Visit Beta Stroller Rental today and give your family the comfort they deserve because happy kids mean happy parents. Now, on to the show. Hey, and welcome to the Mickey and Minutes podcast. Quick conversations, information, and inspiration. I'm your host, Nick Lazaga, and I hope you enjoy this episode of The Short Disney Show. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mickey and Minutes podcast. This is season 8, episode 5. Now, as Disney fans, you've probably heard something like this from your friends, coworkers, and even family. You're going to Disney again? Didn't you just get back from Disney? You know there's other places to go than just Disney, right? Why don't you take a year off from Disney? Disney is way too expensive. You should stop giving Disney all your money. Or one of my favorites, for the cost of a Disney trip, you can actually insert other vacation destination here. And it's even worse during the summer because then they're all like, you really want to spend your vacation time waiting in lines in the hot sun? And the classic, Disney just isn't relaxing, Why don't you go to the beach or something? And the comments just go on and on and on. Just do something else, they say. How about going to a game? Well, right now are the NBA playoffs, and I live in San Antonio, and the Spurs are actually playing right now as I record this. Go Spurs, go. If we went to a Spurs game during playoffs, a cheap ticket could cost about $181. But if I wanted a pretty good seat, we're looking at over $1,100. And that's for a game that lasts about, 3 hours? Now that's expensive. But remember what they love to say, that Disney is so expensive. Well, a Disney park ticket on a cheap day is about $119. That's less than a basketball game ticket, and you get all day in an immersive Disney theme park. Now, I know that price can fluctuate. Same with basketball tickets, right? But the other thing they love to say is the Disney food is so expensive. You got to spend so much money on food in Disney. And yeah, Disney food can be expensive, but let's compare it to the average sporting event. A beer at a basketball game is about $12. Honestly, that's about the same as Disney. And do you want popcorn? At an NBA game, that could run you about $8, maybe a little bit more. And guess what? That's about the same as Disney, if you don't buy those crazy popcorn buckets. But we have to buy those popcorn buckets. So, anyways, you tell me, what's the better value? A basketball game or a day in Disney? And don't even get me started on comparing Disney prices to big concerts or even Broadway shows. They're so expensive. Call it Disney math or girl math or whatever, but Disney is very clearly the better value. Way more bang for your buck, as they say. But of course, everyone has their own thing. So I'm not knocking everyone who goes to basketball games. Even I enjoy the occasional basketball game. But you know what? Sports fans sure do love to make fun of us Disney fans. Just saying. Well, this summer, honestly, we got kind of tired of hearing all the comments and decided to take their advice. So, instead of Disney, we booked a Hawaiian vacation. We'll be going with my in-laws literally next week. We're going to be relaxing on the beaches of Maui for a whole week and exploring many of the things that tropical paradise has to offer. It's going to be so great. But I just can't help who I am, guys. Now, I'll give them credit. my in-laws tried. They really did try so hard to keep this a quote normal vacation. They really, really tried to pull us away from Disney. But you know me, I just couldn't resist. I just had to remind them that Disney is in Hawaii too. And to quote Moana, it calls me. So, despite their best efforts, we booked a stay at the beautiful Disney Alani Resort and Spa in Koalina, Hawaii. And we'll be spending 2 nights immersed in this magical Disney paradise at the end of our Hawaiian vacation. And we have an ocean view, guys. I'm so excited. I seriously can't wait. You know, you could take the Disney adult out of the parks, but we will always find our way back to Disney, no matter where we are, right? But I'll talk more about Alani on a future episode. I can't wait to tell you all about it when we get back. I'm going to just fully immerse myself in all the Duffy lore, and it's going to be amazing. So look out for that episode very, very soon. Now, a week in Hawaii may be enough vacation for one summer for some people. And definitely the Alani part is enough Disney for a lot of people. But you know that's just not enough for me. So, of course, we also booked a stay at Walt Disney World. We'll be there in late July. We just couldn't help ourselves. Now, some of the people who were saying all of those comments about you're going to Disney again and blah, 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 well, they don't know about this trip yet. So, shh, let's keep it a secret because I know exactly what they're going to say. Didn't you just go to Disney in September? That was less than a year ago. It's all going to be the same as last time. What could possibly have changed? Name one thing that's different between September and now. Well, I'm so glad you asked that question. How about I name 12? So, on this episode, let's talk about what's going to be new for me on this Walt Disney World trip. Now, before I get into these, I'm trying to remain as spoiler free as possible for all of these things. So, in the comments, let me know what you're most excited for, but try not to spoil the details for me because I've done a pretty good job. Now, I know social media reveals a lot of things and it's hard to avoid everything, but I've been really, really trying. So here's what I'm looking forward to. Let's start number one off with a big one, and that is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This attraction has finally reopened after a 16-month long refurbishment. It opened on May 3rd, and there's a lot of changes. It seems like they redid the entire track. I've heard it's so smooth now. So smooth, in fact, that they lowered the height requirement. That probably also has to do with the fact that there are new ride vehicles. And, looking at pictures, I have to get used to the new color. It's like brown now instead of orange, but it looks great. There are so many new surprises I hear about. The intro with all the bats and the colors for the Rainbow Caverns, which is such an amazing nod to a classic Disneyland attraction. And there's a new ending, apparently. So, again, spoiler free, but I am so excited. Big Thunder Mountain is one of my absolute favorite attractions of all time because, of course, it's a classic. Number two, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. This reopened on April 8th after an 8-month long refurbishment. And again, they did a lot. So there's even a new animatronic in the beginning, a character named Buddy who's going to help you with target practice. And speaking of the targets, they redid those. So it all looks really great. From the pictures and the videos that I have seen, it looks fantastic. And you can now pull the blasters off the ride vehicle before they were stationary. So this just looks like a really good refurbishment. It looks like a brand new attraction now, and I can't wait to try to get Galactic Hero. I've never really been very good at this attraction, but who knows? Maybe I'll be really good at the new version. All right, number three. I'm really, really torn on this one. Part of me is super excited, part of me is kind of nervous, and that is Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. This finally reopened on May 26th after closing on March 2nd. So, yeah, real fast turnaround on this one. But, I'm a little nervous. I really, really, really loved the Aerosmith version. That's the one that I grew up on. Those songs are kind of the soundtrack, or at least part of the soundtrack to my childhood Walt Disney World vacations. Songs like Walk This Way and Sweet Emotion, Love in an Elevator. Like, it's going to be really hard to ride this attraction without these songs. And of course, that classic pre-show with Aerosmith in the studio. It's been hard for me to let this one go. Now, actually, before this attraction opened, I did an episode on what to expect from it with my good friend Jake D from the Sippin' Memos podcast. So if you go back to the previous episode, it's called Muppets Rockin' Playlist. And we talked about the songs. We talked about, well, what we knew at the time. So that episode might be a little dated now if you've ridden the new attraction already. But it was a fun episode, and I really loved having Jake on the show. So even if you've ridden the attraction already, go check out that episode. I'm not going to get too much into my thoughts on it here because it's all there. But I don't know. I'm a little nervous about some of the song choices. I love the Muppets, don't get me wrong, but I really, really miss Muppet Vision 3D. Now, I've heard there's a lot of nods and even props from that attraction in the new attraction. So, something to look forward to. And I also know that there's some nods to the original Aerosmith version of this attraction in there. But, I'm a little nervous, guys. Let me know without any spoilers. Should I be nervous? Is the new version good? Like, does it live up to the Rock and Roller Coaster name? Let me know. I cannot wait. And of course, I'm going to try to do this one more than once because I want to try to collect the songs, right? I'm thinking hopefully at least two rides on this attraction. And honestly, I hope I don't get Walking on Sunshine. That's the song I'm most nervous about. It doesn't feel like a rock song. But, anyways, more thoughts on that on the last episode. So let's move on to the next thing. Number four, Animation Courtyard. Now, this might sound silly to you because the actual attraction, the Magic of Disney Animation, has not reopened yet. So, yes, I'm looking forward to a courtyard. But real Disney fans get it, right? This courtyard, I've seen so many pictures of it. This isn't an attraction, so I didn't mind about being spoiled for a courtyard. But it looks amazing. Of course, the sorcerer's hat is back, as they say. Of course, I disagree with that. I don't think this sorcerer's hat is supposed to be, a replacement of the old sorcerer's hat that we had at studios a long time ago. But what it is supposed to be is a replica of the hat on top of the Roy E. Disney Animation Building in Burbank, California. And that alone makes this look amazing. And I'm really into all like the statues and figures of all the Disney animals all around the courtyard. It looks fantastic. It just looks like such a peaceful space to hang out in. And I just can't wait to be immersed in this. This is exactly what Disney's Hollywood studios needed. Just a bunch of Disney animation classics coming together. And of course, this area is based on the short that came out during Disney 100 called Once Upon a Studio. So the whole theme of the area is that these animated films have come to life, and these animated characters are coming off the page and hanging out with you. So I cannot wait to see this. Now, kind of a bonus one here. When I went in September, I did not get to experience the new Little Mermaid show in that area. It was a packed studios day, and we honestly just kind of ran out of time. So that's on my list too. I'm not counting it as its own number. I'm putting it here at number four with Animation Courtyard because it's new to me, but technically it opened before my last trip. So the new Little Mermaid show, I've heard wonderful, wonderful things about it. I cannot wait to check it out for myself. All right, number five, Soarin' Across America. This update to that classic Soarin' attraction reopened on May 26th as well. May 26th was a big day, right? It was the kickoff to summer, to Cool Kids Summer. So a lot of these opened on May 26th. But Soarin' Across America is in celebration of the United States of America's 250th birthday. And this is going to showcase landmarks from across our beautiful country. Now, I do have kind of a spoiler on this one. I saw that Patrick Warburton is back, and I love that dude. He's so funny. Now, I haven't seen the pre-show with him, but I've seen pictures of him, and I can't wait to see that pre-show, and of course, experiencing new Soren. I don't know all the destinations. I have a couple of spoilers just by accident. You can't help but see some things. But overall, I'm excited for all the sights, of course, all the smells, and the music. I love the Soren soundtrack, and I'm really curious to hear if they've incorporated any, American themes into that soundtrack. So, Soaring Across America, really looking forward to that one. All right, number six, we're halfway through this list. Remy in 2D. Of course, Remy's Ratatouille adventure originally opened in 3D. And, I'm not a huge fan of 3D attractions. Now, I know I mentioned earlier how much I love Muppet Vision 3D, but overall, I don't really like wearing 3D glasses, especially when you're in a ride vehicle and it moves. That's like the one thing I don't like about Flight of Passage. And that's really the thing I didn't really like about Remy's Ratatouille Adventure in Epcot. But now they've converted it to 2D, and I'm here for it. I love that attraction. It's so fun, and I can't wait to experience it, with my own eyes without having to worry about dropping the 3D glasses or if the 3D glasses are dirty or. And it may be a silly thing to be excited for some people, but, again, us Disney fans, we like what we like. And I'm excited to see Remy in 2D. Now, this one actually opened last year in November of 2025, only a couple months after I left Walt Disney World last time. So I've been waiting a while to check this one out. Now, another one I've been waiting a little while to check out opened on February 12th after a refurbishment. Of course, for number seven, I'm talking about Frozen Ever After with new faces. Oh, the things that us Disney fans get excited about. Of course, these animatronics in Frozen Ever After got a refurb, and instead of those projected faces, which I'll be honest, I don't think ever really looked good, we have, full articulated faces. And from what I've seen online, these look amazing. Now, I have watched the full ride through of this with the faces because it's not a whole new attraction. The only thing different are the animatronics, and I wanted to see how they look. And if they look half as good in person as they do online, I think we're in for a real treat. All these other countries get to have frozen attractions with really good looking animatronics. It's about time that Epcot caught up. All right, number eight, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run featuring the Mandalorian and Grogu. This version of the attraction opened on May 22nd, the same day as the movie, which was awesome, by the way. So, yeah, now you get to fly a mission with Mandalorian and Grogu, and you even get to pick what destinations you go to. I hear there's like three different destinations you can go to at the end of it, and it just seems so fun. It seems like a really much needed update to this attraction that was frankly getting a little stale. There's only so much coaxium you could collect, right? But I'm a big Mandalorian fan. The movie was really, really good. So I'm just excited to go on a mission with the Mandalorian Din Djarin, right? I'm excited to maybe even get like the engineer or the gunner, one of those positions in the attraction that didn't get very much love before. Now you get to interact with Grogu or pick your destination. So, the pilots don't get to have all the fun this time. But of course, I prefer to be the pilot anyways. But it's good that all the positions are exciting now, and I can't wait to check out Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run with the Mandalorian. Man, this list is awesome. Is this getting you excited too? Maybe you should come along. Come on, come to Disney with us. All right, not all the things that I'm looking forward to are attractions. There are a couple other things on this list that are just as exciting for me. And this next one may seem like another small update, an insignificant update to some of you, but to me, it's everything. I'm a huge, huge Peter Pan fan. I have been my entire life. It's always been my favorite animated movie since I was a baby. And now I get to see Peter Pan and Wendy fly in a parade. That is, of course, the update to Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away, where Peter Pan and Wendy now fly on their float. This premiered on April 10th as kind of a surprise for those people who, weren't expecting it. And, some people predicted that this would possibly happen in the future based on other parades and the way that this float is shaped. But now it's real, it's a thing. Peter Pan and Wendy fly. And I know that parade got some hate. Not a lot of people liked it. It was a little short or this or that, but I loved it. I like a good Disney nighttime parade. Of course, it's no paint the night, let's not get crazy, but Disney Starlight's a lot of fun. And to just have my childhood come to life in front of me and see Peter Pan and Wendy fly, I just know it's going to make me cry. If you've seen that live already, let me know. Is it as beautiful as it seems? Because I cannot wait. All right, we got three more on this list, and they might seem kind of out of left field for some of you guys. Number 10, Level 99. Now, if you don't know what Level 99 is, it's what replaced the NBA experience, which of course replaced Disney Quest. That's heartbreaking for me. If you want to hear a little bit about Disney Quest, I did an episode earlier this season on 90s Disney nostalgia. Go check that out. But, anyways, Level 99 has replaced all that, and it's basically a big activity center. It has over 60 life-sized mini games, escape rooms, brain-teasing puzzles, and so much more. It even has a two-story bar that serves handcrafted cocktails and scratch-made Detroit-style pizza. This sounds awesome. Now, there's no official opening date for this. It just says summer 2026. So who knows? It may not be open when I go in July. I'm hoping it is so I could at least check it out. But this seems really, really awesome. We like escape rooms in this family. We actually just did one recently for my wife's birthday here in San Antonio, and they're pretty hard. So I'm very curious what the escape rooms are going to be like in Level 99. Could they be themed? Maybe some Disney IP? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Now, of course, this isn't like a Disney branded place. This is a third party company. So I have no idea if they're going to incorporate any Disney, but I'm looking forward to finding out. And even if they don't, it seems really awesome, like a cool thing to do over in Disney Springs. Now, staying in Disney Springs for number 11, I'm looking forward to tasting what they have to offer at Six Ravens. This is the new savory location from the same people who brought you Gideon's Bakehouse. Guys, if you've never been to Gideon's Bakehouse, they are some of the best cookies I've ever had. They're thick and gooey and delicious and have so many different flavors. And now this same team is bringing savory treats such as hand pies. That sounds pretty good to me. They're also going to serve local craft beers and dessert tarts. So this looks awesome. I'm actually really looking forward to checking out Six Ravens. If these savory items are as good as those cookies are at Gideon's, then I think I'm in for a real treat. All right, number 12, the last one. Now, this one may be cheating a little bit since I'm personally not going to experience it, but I want to tell you guys, if you're going to Disney this summer, this is something you may want to check out if you have kids with you. And of course, that is Bluey's Wild World over at Animal Kingdom. This opened, of course, on May 26th, along with a bunch of other things. And it's just a fun, exciting place to play with and meet Bluey and his friends. Now, not only are we not traveling with kids, so we wouldn't check this out anyways, but I'm also just not planning on going to Animal Kingdom on this trip. But if I was, another thing that I would be looking forward to is Zootopia Better Zoogether. This opened on November 7th, 2025, just a couple months after I was there last time, which I actually didn't go to Animal Kingdom on the last visit either. But this is in the Tree of Life, and it replaced It's Tough to Be a Bug, and I'm kind of sad about it. I love It's Tough to Be a Bug. Now, since I'm not planning on going to Animal Kingdom on this visit, I did spoil this one, and I will say it doesn't look like it's for me, but I'm sure a lot of people do love this attraction. I love Zootopia. I just think they could have done something better with that franchise. It's so good. It's so funny. They could have done a whole land, you know? Who knows? Maybe in the future. Well, there you have it. 12 things. 12 things that I am looking forward to. So, all those people who are like, why don't you just wait till Cars Land opens? Or why don't you just wait till Villains opens till you go back? There's nothing new. There you go. That's 12. And actually, like 13 or 14 since I doubled up on some of them. But yeah, 12 new things. So, who's laughing now? And of course, all the classic attractions that just always have my heart, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, all of the amazing, amazing things that I do every trip, anyways. All the amazing food. Guys, I'm going to Ohana again. Yes, it's my favorite restaurant in the entire world. I've been dreaming about noodles, so I'll be there again. Of course, Trader Sam's. I'll be going back to Oga's as well. I gotta get that. I gotta get that DJ Rex Tiki mug to add to my collection, and so much more. So yeah, don't ever let anyone make you feel bad for going to Disney again. Let's all stand together as crazy Disney adults, and let's just keep going. Let's just keep going back to the parks. Even if I didn't have a list of 12 new things to look forward to, I would still be going back to Disney this summer because you know what? It's what we do. All right, so now it's over to you guys. Did I miss something? Is there something else new at Walt Disney World this summer that I completely missed? Just off the top of my head, I realized I didn't even talk about Jesse's Roundup, a brand new show filling the Diamond Horseshoe. There's just so many things. So let me know in the comments, wherever it is that you're listening, what did I miss? Or from that list of things that I said, what are you most looking forward to? And also, how are those things? I haven't experienced them yet. I'll be there really soon. Are they as awesome as I hope they're going to be, as I know they're going to be? Let me know without spoilers, please, because, I'm trying to avoid the spoilers, right? But when I get back from this trip, I will do an episode and I will just talk spoilers with everybody. It's going to be awesome. So look forward to some sort of a trip report episode at the end of the summer. And speaking of new episodes, I'm premiering a brand new show on June 15th called The Weekly Top 3. This is going to be the replacement for Mim Mondays. That was the show where I used to talk about the latest Disney news every Monday. It's going to be the top 3 news stories of the week. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on the podcast feed. I can't wait to start talking about the news again because it's been like 2 weeks maybe since I've done a Mim Monday, and I feel like all this breaking news has happened, and I miss talking about it. I miss talking about the Disney news with you guys. So mark your calendars, June 15th. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, so you don't miss the new show, Weekly Top 3. I'm really looking forward to this show. So yeah, like and subscribe wherever it is that you listen. And if you're not already, please follow me on Instagram at Mickey in Minutes, and me personally at Nick in Minutes. And let's chat on Instagram. All right, guys, thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Mickey in Minutes podcast. I will see you next time. Bye. Thanks again for listening to the Mickey in Minutes podcast. If you liked it, tell your fellow Disney friends about it. Follow on Instagram at Mickey in Minutes, subscribe wherever you listen, and check out mickeyinminutes.weebly.com for more content.